You know, the number one reason corporate employees never start that side hustle? It's not because they don't have time, and it's definitely not a lack of skill. No, the real reason is something way more primal.
It's fear. The fear that your boss or HR or that one coworker who's always watching is gonna see your new hustle on LinkedIn and immediately flag you as a flight risk. And you know what? That fear is 100% valid. If you follow all the usual advice and start shouting about your new business from the rooftops, you're gonna get caught.
But just because you have to be quiet doesn't mean you can't build. That's why today we're going deep on Ghost Mode. It's a 5-step strategy to build a $5,000 a month income stream right under your employer's nose without ever tipping them off.
All right, step 1 is all about camouflage. We have to fix your digital storefront, which is your LinkedIn profile. The whole philosophy here is to optimize for authority, not availability. We want your boss to see a rockstar employee, but we want future clients to see a high-value expert.
Okay, look at this slide. This is the single biggest mistake people make. They change their headline to something like freelance copywriter or open for projects. Do not do that. That's like firing a flare gun straight into the HR department's office. Instead, you optimize for the skill. So if you're in HR and you want to sell resume writing services, you don't say you write resumes. You say you're passionate about talent acquisition and career development.
So what's the result? Well, to your boss, you just look like a super dedicated employee who really loves their industry. But to a potential client who's searching for help, you look like a seasoned expert. You are, quite literally, hiding in plain sight.
Okay, on to step 2. This is where we get tactical. I want you to stop posting your own content and start commenting on other people's posts. I know, it sounds totally backward, but trust me, there's a very specific, very strategic reason we do this. So here's why this works. When you create a big post, LinkedIn's algorithm pushes it to your immediate network first. Who's in that network? Your boss, your coworkers, everyone you're trying to avoid. We don't want that. So instead, you're going to use the 90-10 rule. 90% of your time is spent leaving strategic comments on posts from people who could actually hire you. But you can't just write great post. That does nothing. You have to be a sniper. So when a potential client posts about a problem they're having, you comment with a genuine solution. A comment just like this one shows your expertise. The client sees it, they're impressed. But because it's just a comment, the algorithm is way less likely to blast it all over your boss's feed.
And that brings us to steps 3 and 4, the invisible funnel. This is where the magic happens. We're going to build the system that turns all that hidden authority into actual income. This is how you get from a comment to cash, all while staying completely off the public radar.
Step 3 is your secret weapon, the dark portfolio. You do not need a website. Let me say that again. Do not go buy a domain name. A website is public, it's searchable. Instead, you're going to build a simple Notion page or even just a Google Drive folder. That's where you'll put your case studies and your pricing. It's completely invisible to Google, and you only share the link when you decide to.
Step 4 is what I call the DM takedown. See, public comments are for getting noticed, but direct messages, that's where the money is. As soon as that prospect replies to your sniper comment, you take the conversation private. The sequence is simple. You go from that public comment to the DMs, and then you share the link to your private portfolio.
Now here is the exact script you can use. You say, "Hey name, saw your post about problem. I actually built a quick checklist to solve that exact issue. Happy to send it over if it helps. No strings attached." See what happened there? You didn't ask for a sale, you offered value. When they say yes, please, you send them the link to your dark portfolio, and just like that, you're in a sales conversation, totally hidden inside the DMs.
Okay, stop. Before you send a single DM, we have to talk about step 5. And I need you to listen very, very carefully, because this is, without a doubt, the most important part of this entire strategy. This is all about protecting your 9 to 5.
Let me be crystal clear. This is non-negotiable. If you mess this part up, you are risking your primary source of income. You absolutely have to read your employment contract.
So here's your homework. Go find that PDF you signed when you were hired. Use the search function, Control F, and look for these 2 specific terms, non-compete and moonlighting. You have to understand exactly what your legal obligations are to your current employer.
The golden rule of Ghost Mode is simple. Never compete with the hand that feeds you. If you work for Coca-Cola, do not go consult for Pepsi. That is not a side hustle, that's a lawsuit. You need to pivot your skills to a totally different industry. So if you're a project manager for a construction company, go be a project manager for a tech startup on the side. Same skill, different industry. That is what keeps you safe.
Listen, you don't need some loud, flashy, personal brand to make an extra $5,000 a month. You just need a solid reputation for getting results, and you need to build it strategically and safely. The goal here is real, it's tangible, and you can absolutely achieve it without blowing up your day job.
You can literally build an entire empire in the DMs while everyone else is out there screaming for likes on the public feed. The strategy is right here. So the only question left is the one on the screen. Are you ready to stop fighting for likes and start messaging for clients?